Welcome back to AfriFreedom Channel, where we unpack the critical political, cultural, and historical issues shaping Africa and the world today. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful content that challenges the status quo and drives truth to power. Your voice matters, so make sure you drop your thoughts respectfully in the comment section below. We read every single one. Disclaimer. The views expressed in this video are presented for educational, informational, and analytical purposes only. We do not promote hate, incitement, or violence of any kind. We aim to foster constructive dialogue and awareness on sensitive socio-political issues affecting global communities, particularly those of African descent. A controversial struggle chant that has long stirred debate in South Africa is now reportedly being heard on American soil. Originally, emerging from the anti-apartheid movement, this chant, whose lyrics have sparked global outcry in the past, has resurfaced in a very different context and location. Its arrival in the United States raises serious questions about historical trauma, political expression, and the ethical boundaries of solidarity. What does it mean when chants that once symbolized resistance against oppression cross borders and are embraced in entirely different sociopolitical landscapes? Is this a sign of global unity against colonial legacies, or a dangerous misappropriation of deeply painful historical language? Are we witnessing a reawakening of revolutionary spirit, or is this a signal that unresolved historical wounds are being reopened under the guise of solidarity? When historical resistance slogans leave their original context, do they still represent the fight for justice, or do they risk becoming something more dangerous, even violent, when misinterpreted? Should nations remain silent in the face of such symbolism, or is this the moment for meaningful global dialogue? Let us know what you think. Is this about remembrance and resistance, or are we entering a space where history is weaponized instead of honored? Before a high-level South African delegation made its way to Washington, President Julius Malema delivered a striking address that caught international attention.
Mr. President, I don't know wittingly or unwittingly, when you were answering the question about our relationship with the USA, not once have you mentioned DERCO or Minister of International Relations. And this is as a result of you having met Elon Musk during the UN General Assembly and knowing very well the views of Elon Musk about South Africa, racist, white supremacist views about South Africa, which led to you meeting him because you thought you were going to clarify those issues. Unrepentant racist became emboldened and then made more bad remarks about South Africa even after meeting you physically. You still saw a need to go outside the diplomatic channels and made a contact with an individual, not using diplomatic relations or mechanism within which we resolve diplomatic disputes as South Africa. Don't you think you individually have emboldened white people to undermine us, and you have single-handedly destroyed the diplomatic relations of South Africa with other countries, and you have destroyed and juniorized the Department of International Relations? Mr. President. And Elon Musk, and worse, Elon Musk, you organized a meeting with him or that telephone conversation through his immoral father, politically, economically, and otherwise. A man who has engaged in business in South Africa through illegal means, even when he has admitted to do so. Those are the type of characters you can't speak to. Imagine, Mr. President, had they said Donald Trump called the Guptas during that time. What were you going to say? You're going to say that Guptas are an independent state actor. You are not going to say that. You are going to feel undermined. And that's exactly what you have done. What are you saying about established practices of resolving issues in a diplomatic way and diplomatic channels in South Africa? Do you have a full confidence in the Minister of DERCO and the department itself? You speak about an ambassador in Washington or New York. That ambassador belongs to the Department of International Relations. Instead of talking about international relations, leadership, and the department, you talk about ambassador. But when you talk about DRC, you talk about Minister of Defense is doing 1, 2, 3. You don't say ambassador in DRC is doing 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Speech was layered, direct, and unfiltered, and in one of its most poignant moments, he deliberately switched to vernacular, a language rooted deeply in African soil. This wasn't just a linguistic choice, it was a political statement. To those who understood the vernacular, the message was crystal clear, raw, urgent, and defiant. But to the rest of the world, that moment was both enigmatic and symbolic. Was it a protective move to speak directly to his people, bypassing the foreign gaze? Or was it a form of coded communication, powerful to some, misunderstood by others? Malema's broader submission was an indictment of Western interference, colonial residue, and ongoing structural inequalities facing African nations. His speech resonated with those who have long felt that African leaders must speak without fear, especially on Western platforms where diplomacy often sanitizes truth. But at the same time, critics argue that such rhetoric, especially when combined with historical references and emotionally charged language, might further complicate international relations. When African leaders speak boldly abroad, are they giving voice to the voiceless, or playing to political theater? Was Malema asserting dignity for Africa or further isolating the continent in global diplomacy? And that moment in vernacular, was it a message of cultural pride or political exclusion? As these events unfold, one must ask, what image is South Africa projecting to the world, and to what end? The chant echoing in the West and the political posture presented in Washington may not be disconnected. They appear to stem from the same deep well of historical injustice and present-day frustration. But where is the line between historical reclamation and global provocation? What does it say about the state of global solidarity that such chants are not only being heard again but are being amplified beyond their original borders? Are we seeing a unifying cry, or a divisive moment cloaked in revolutionary memory? And as the international community listens, how should they interpret these words, this posture, this moment in time? The world is paying attention. Every chant, every speech, every unfiltered word carries historical weight and future consequence. As these symbolic expressions re-enter the global consciousness, we must ask ourselves, what future are we heading toward if we continue to shout across centuries without healing, understanding, or resolution? Will expressions like these help Africa confront its painful past and demand justice, or do they risk entrenching narratives of division, fear, and retaliation? Your opinion is critical. We urge you to share your thoughts with us in the comments section, but always with respect and awareness of the complexity involved. If this analysis brought value to your understanding, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to AfriFreedom Channel. We are committed to asking the hard questions and presenting the issues that matter, without filters or fear. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and stay free.